Now on CoastTV News.
Special Election Day, the year-long drama in Delaware State House District 20 is nearing its conclusion. What you need to know this morning as voters head to the polls.
Ceiling stuns travelers, the scary scene at the Atlanta airport that led to a delay in flights.
White Marlin Open, Day 2. Less than half of the registered boats competed on Monday, why some are saving their allotted days.
More clouds than sun the next few days for Delmarva. Temperatures a little on the cooler side and the humidity starting to creep up a bit. Not much in the way of rain. Forecast details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we continue with our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025.
Yeah, there was a very big fish that was brought to the scales yesterday at the White Marlin Open.
Yeah, Bob had a good point. He was like, how do you pull that out of the water? How many people does it take?
That was a monster. Over 900 pounds, Elisa.
I know. That is pretty incredible. But I mean, that's what they're there to do. So they want those big fish. But everyone's probably checking the weather to make sure it's good fishing weather. And to tell us about that is First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trihey. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Elisa and Matt. I got to think those people wear very thick gloves to pull those fish in because they have to be spiny, thrashing about, so probably pretty dangerous too. But we're looking at lots of clouds this morning, dry conditions as the anglers are heading out. 70 in Ocean City, 67 in Bethany Beach, a little cooler inland areas, 64 in Georgetown, 63 in Millsboro. Not as cool as yesterday morning because of the cloud cover, and the winds are light, so pretty flat seas for the folks heading out for the White Marlin Open, and we'll be dealing with clouds as well. You see those clouds overspreading the ocean too, so maybe the fish bite a little better when it's cloudy. Let's hope so. And we're looking at maybe a few sprinkles here and there, but more rain back through Virginia. But a lot of this will dry up as it heads our way as we still have high pressure in place. Let's walk you through it on Futurecast. More clouds and sun as we go through the morning hours. By noon, upper 70s, close to 80 inland areas, but staying in the mid 70s, Ocean City up to Bethany Beach with mid to upper 70s there today. So not the best beach day. And then lower 80s inland with mostly cloudy skies. If you're going for a run, great running weather, light winds and pretty cool. Temperatures in the 60s this morning, rising through the 70s to close to 80 by noon.
Thank you, Bob. And our top story this hour, we are looking at the culmination of a story that actually began on January 14th. That is the date the 153rd Delaware General Assembly first convened.
And that was the day when then District 20 Democratic Representative Stell Parker Selby began her year-long absence at Legislative Hall.
Parker Selby resigned her seat in June. Today is the special election to determine who serves the remainder of that term.
Republican Nikki Miller and Democrat Alonna Berry both have strong education backgrounds. Listen to what they said last week on Delaware's school funding formula and the next steps.
We are hurting our most at-risk kids by paying the teachers less to teach them. And then you have high turnovers because the teachers can drive a few more miles and make more money doing the same thing.
We're operating in a funding formula that is not meeting the needs of our students and our teachers and our parents today. We have got to figure out how to completely restructure the way that we fund our schools.
Miller is a longtime educator. She's also the former Cape Henlopen High School principal.
And Democrat Alonna Berry founded the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence. That's a free public charter school in Georgetown. Berry also worked on policy and budget issues under former Delaware Governor John Carney.
According to the Delaware Department of Elections, polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and there are 8 different polling places in this district. On your screen right now is a map of District 20. This is the area that we are talking about. It covers Milton, parts of Lewis, Harbison, and Georgetown. It is home to approximately 23,000 registered voters.
And you can see those polling locations on your screen right now. They include Milton Elementary School, Mariner Middle School, H.O. Brittingham School, and Sussex Consortium.
Also, Frederick Thomas Middle School, The Crossing, Lewis Public Library, and Lewis Elementary School. And for people living in District 20, there are a couple of things you need to know before heading to the polls. According to the Delaware Department of Elections, voters must be 18 years or older and bring ID with them. Officials say if you don't have ID but are at the correct polling place, you can still vote. Election workers will confirm your voter registration, and then you will have to complete an affidavit of affirmation of voter identity. Deadline for absentee ballots is 8 p.m.
The Delaware Department of Elections released the numbers after the 10 days of early voting in the District 20 special election. According to officials, about 29% of registered voters in the 20th district have already voted. That means over 6,600 people have gone to the polls. At the Lewis Elementary location, just over 3,000 people voted, and in Milton at Mariner Middle School, just over 2,900 voted. We are told by the Delaware Department of Elections results will be posted around 9:30 tonight. And for more information on this special election, you can head to our website, CoastTV.com.
In Lewis, the city has a new fire chief. Following an election Monday night, Robert Stevens, who was serving as an interim in that capacity, now officially takes on the role as fire chief. Stevens is an 18-year member of the department and has held several positions with the company, including assistant fire chief. Stevens also works for the Wilmington Fire Department as a firefighter on Squad 4. And full disclosure, Chief Robert Stevens is the husband of Coast TV's assistant news director and anchor, Madeline Overturf.
And this election for the fire chief comes after former Lewis Fire Chief Bill Bucklew resigned and was suspended from the department after making a derogatory comment in a public setting, according to a statement from the Lewis Fire Department on July 21st. The department says that comment was unacceptable in any context.
Progress is underway on what's expected to become the world's largest artificial reef. You may remember this ship. It visited our coast earlier this year. Now it's in Mobile, Alabama, and crews have removed the massive 65-foot forward funnel from the SS United States. It's part of preparations to transform the 990-foot ship into an artificial reef off the Gulf Coast. The sinking of the SS United States takes place about 20 nautical miles off the coast at a depth of 180 feet, and they're preserving that forward funnel for a future land-based museum.
We are now taking a live look at Ocean City. Day 2 of the world's largest billfish competition is getting underway. The White Marlin Open continues as hundreds of boaters plan to head out onto the water again today. However, fishermen are expecting the conditions out at sea to worsen throughout the week. In fact, some have already ruled out fishing on Thursday and Friday. Because of this, organizers have extended fishing days to Sunday and Saturday.
Happening today, the crafting of land use policy recommendations in Sussex County. It's a continuing effort this year by the working group with that name. After 6 meetings, the group has drafted 22 recommendations, which the county council may consolidate. Some include creating higher density for development in certain areas. That could lead to taller buildings with more housing units. Another is syncing up road improvements with new developments. Some people living in Sussex County that we spoke with think the group serves an important purpose.
You want to hear the people who live here, who've been here their whole life and are so not used to the busyness aspect of the growth.
And the group of volunteers set to meet today at 10 a.m.
Check out this shocking scene Monday afternoon at the Atlanta airport. It forced a brief closure of that area near one of the airport's gates. It did cause a delay to at least one flight. Airport officials say they are still attempting to determine what caused the leak and the ceiling to collapse.
And we're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. There's a fight between Texas lawmakers expanding all the way to our nation's capital. And now lawmakers from across the country are getting involved. Texas Democratic lawmakers are still outside the state. This is an effort to block a vote on a Republican congressional redistricting plan that's being pushed by President Trump ahead of next year's midterm elections.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott overnight calling on state troopers to track down and arrest those lawmakers. NBC's Jay Gray shows us a closer look at the holdout and how governors in blue states are now vowing to join the fight.
Members, a quorum is not present.
Texas Democrats continuing their holdout. Dozens of state lawmakers leaving the House chamber and the state, effectively blocking a vote on a Republican congressional redistricting plan that could create up to 5 new GOP seats and help the party maintain control of the U.S. House in the 2026 midterm elections.
Their attempts to disenfranchise Texans is the tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map. And Governor Abbott is doing this in submission to Donald Trump.
Texas Republicans pushing back.
This map was politically based, and that's totally legal, totally allowed, and totally fair.
Governor Greg Abbott threatening to expel the more than 50 absent lawmakers from office while ordering state troopers to find and arrest them.
I will immediately sign the warrants for the civil arrest of the members who have said they will not be here.
Texas may be the spark point, but clearly this showdown is just the start of a national battle for political power.
This is a war. We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
Governors in a handful of blue states, including New York, Illinois, and California, already working on potential redistricting plans to offset GOP efforts. Governor Gavin Newsom, a potential presidential candidate, posting on social media, "Buckle up, Donald Trump. California is about to get a whole lot bluer thanks to you." Blue or red, the map to the midterm elections, unclear and contentious, more than a year before voters head to the polls. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
And we're just getting started with this hour of Coast TV News today.
Coming up, grass regulations review, the possible consequences in Cambridge for people who officials say don't look after their lawns.
Also, push to improve housing options. We'll tell you what Milton could move forward with efforts to bring more affordable and workforce housing to the town.
And recognizing Rehoboth history, when the nation's summer capital is unveiling a permanent reminder of its beach patrol's impact. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
It is 6:13 on our Tuesday morning. Lots of clouds in Dover on the Bay Health Cam right now. Nothing in the way of rain, and because of the clouds, we're not seeing 50s this morning like we saw yesterday. Low to mid 60s inland, 60s and low 70s at the beaches. 70 in Ocean City for day 2 of the White Marlin Open, and calm winds, so that means pretty flat seas for the anglers heading out. We're looking at lots of clouds right now, maybe a few sprinkles up near Baltimore, far northern parts of Delaware. Otherwise, a bigger shield of rain back to the west, but I think a lot of that dries up with high pressure and still a lot of dry air. So your mowing forecast, I have it in the good category right through the end of the week. We'll see lots of clouds, maybe a stray shower, but all in all, looking pretty dry for cutting the grass.
Thank you, Bob. Happening today, Rehoboth Beach will unveil a new historical marker. This at a ceremony at 9 a.m. at the Beach Patrol. Officials say that marker will honor the Beach Patrol's long history. Mayor Stan Mills says it's an honor to receive that state historical designation.
Have a heads up for you if you are driving through the Delmar area. Delmar Road is closed between Providence Church Road and Old Racetrack Road now through Thursday, August 7th. DelDOT says it's shut down for emergency repairs to a failed crossroad pipe.
BP is pushing to boost its global upstream production. Officials with the British energy giant says its goal is to increase output from 2.3 million barrels to 2.5 million by the end of the decade. BP just announced a major oil and gas discovery in deepwater Santos Basin offshore Brazil. It calls the discovery its largest in the last quarter century.
New York Post is headed to the West Coast. The tabloid's ownership is announcing it will launch the California Post early next year and base it out of Los Angeles. The new publication will include news, entertainment, and sports reporting, but with a California focus. The California Post will also include a daily print edition.
We're starting the day with lots of clouds in Lewis right now on the Irish Eyes Cam. The canal like glass because there's no wind. We're looking at more clouds the next few days. Temperatures a little cooler, humidity a little higher, not much in the way of rain. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is 6:18 and you are looking live at cloudy skies over the canal in Lewis. No qualifying white marlins yet at the Open in Ocean City, but Bob, there is a blue on the board right now. It's worth over $4 million.
Man, I'm going fishing.
All right. See ya.
No, that is amazing. That is a good chunk of change. You catch some fish, but I'm sure it's a battle pulling them in. And for the 52nd White Marlin Open, day 2, this icon's a little optimistic. I think we're looking at cloudy skies today, like you see here, upper 70s. And then upper 70s the rest of the week with mostly cloudy skies. The winds do start to pick up on Thursday. I think they'll be gusting over 30 miles per hour over the open water. So I think that's going to build up the swells as well. Out the door this morning, temperature-wise, we're in the low to mid 60s inland inland areas, so not as cool as yesterday morning where we had 50s. 70 at Indian River Inlet right now, 67 in Rehoboth. The winds are calm, so anglers like to see that heading out. Pretty flat seas, but you'll be encountering overcast skies. We're seeing that now. Maybe bring the rain gear just in case you see some showers out in the ocean today. And on land, maybe a few sprinkles in Virginia and along the I-95 corridor, with heavier showers back through Virginia and West Virginia. We have high pressure in place, actually a reinforcing shot of high pressure to the north, so that will keep us drier and kind of whittle away at this rain. But it's raining hard in the upstate of South Carolina, and along the front we could see tropical development off the southeast coast the next few days. There's a 30% chance the next 7 days that something develops here and then moves up the coast and maybe just misses us over the weekend. We'll be tracking that for sure, but we do know for sure that we're looking at clouds really all day long today. Temperatures rising through the 70s to around 81 in Georgetown by 3:30, 80 in Millsboro, 75 in Ocean City. Not the best beach day with mainly 70s there, and we keep the clouds in pretty tight really through the rest of the overnight hours, with temperatures by morning in the low to mid 70s. Easterly flow on Wednesday, similar conditions, lots of clouds, upper 70s, low 80s inland, mainly 70s at the beaches, as the winds are pretty light today, and then they start to pick up through Wednesday out of the east, gusting to 20 miles per hour, then even stronger into Thursday, gusting 25 miles per hour on land, but probably over 30 miles per hour along the coast. And we still are dealing with wildfire smoke rotating through the area. I think this continues the rest of the week. So if you suffer from health problems, make sure you stay in filtered air. Becoming muggy to humid the next several days, and we're tracking that system out of the southeast. We could be on the northwest side of this system right now. We're keeping it dry into the weekend, but just offshore, we could be looking at rain and wind. Around 82 in Harrington and Milford today with the cloudy skies, 81 in Cambridge and 81 in Princess Anne, 82 in Salisbury. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, more clouds and sun the next few days. Lower 80s through Thursday, a little cooler Friday. Then the weekend, right now I'm keeping it dry, but we'll have that storm to our southeast. 80 Saturday, 84 Sunday, and some showers Monday, and 87.
New this morning, the Maryland Department of the Environment is warning locals about smoke moving towards the state. Officials say it's coming from Canada and could result in hazy skies and air quality concerns. The agency says smoke levels are expected to stay within a moderate range today, but could increase later this week. According to the agency, people sensitive to air pollution should limit time outdoors.
In Milton, officials continue to debate solutions to increase affordable or workforce housing. At Monday night's town council meeting, the Planning and Zoning Committee's final report on this type of housing was received. And here is what one member of the town council said about what the next steps in this process looks like.
The ad hoc committee presented everything to the town council. Town council in turn said, okay, let's get our planning commission to take a look at that and see, are these recommendations viable? And that is what came before the council today, was the planning commission's final report on those commissions, on those recommendations.
Yeah, it's not clear yet how those housing recommendations are used by the town council.
Up next on Coast TV News today, grass regulations review will tell you how Cambridge officials say they are increasing enforcement so that more people look after their lawns. Don't go anywhere. Overgrown lawns are piling up in Cambridge, and city officials say they've had to shift crews and resources just to keep up. Homeowners now have 7 days to mow one-sided, or the city will do it for them and then send a bill. City manager Glenn Steckman says enforcement is ramping up across the city.
We're hoping that this becomes less of an issue for the city, that we can channel our manpower into better areas. But one of the challenges this year is we've been cutting so many lawns, we're having a difficult time cutting our own and maintaining our own property.
Steckman also says the issue spreads through both older neighborhoods and newer developments. And it is August, so those beach days are dwindling down. Looks like it's cloudy, but still a good beach day.
Yeah, we were talking about the lack of humidity earlier, and that could make for a good hair day if you go to the beach.
Absolutely, yes. Although that beach breeze usually just ruins the hair look. Yeah.
I know, but that humidity is going to start to creep up, so that frizz factor is going to increase as well the next few days. But not too bad today. Chincoteague and Assateague, lots of clouds. Bark is worse than the bite. Maybe just a few few light rain showers, and looking pretty good actually for the anglers heading out for the White Marlin Open. Waves around 2 to 3 feet, a little higher farther out where they go. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, maybe a sprinkle this morning, otherwise lots of clouds. Rip current threat is moderate, so make sure you swim on guarded beaches, and the UV index is still high. That sun coming through the clouds. On the bay side, the next 3 days, we've got lower 80s as we go through Tuesday through Thursday. Looks cloudiest Wednesday, and similar conditions for Crisfield as well. So lots of clouds, not much in the way of rain. And the weekend is a question mark. I'll explain why coming up in the next half hour.
And after the break on Coast TV News today, push for Obama-era employee probe. We'll tell you why some current top officials are calling for a search into previous Obama-era employees.
Also, largest billfish competition continues, and why officials say expected weather is changing the rules this year.
And today is the day Delaware House District 20 will vote for a new representative. We'll tell you what you need to know as polling places for that special election open soon. Coast TV News today will be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
District 20 Decision Day. Later tonight, we expect to know who will serve the remainder of the term in the General Assembly, the drama and the details of the special election.
Lewis leader named after a controversial resignation at the city's fire department. We look at the new chief and the experience he brings to this role.
Boats battle conditions as we get ready for day 2 of the White Marlin Open, the situation that led officials to make changes to the tournament schedule.
More clouds than sun the next few days for Delmarva. Temperatures a little on the cooler side and the humidity starting to creep up a bit. Not much in the way of rain. Forecast details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
August 5th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
6:30 a.m. and not quite 70 degrees
No.
in the morning in August.
Yeah.
It really feels like a mountain region weather than the conditions along the coast.
I'm fine with it because last week when we were walking outside to work, we talked about how thick that air was. It's nice to have a break from that humidity.
You almost sweat
I
at
know.
3 in the morning.
I know, but I know you don't like these cooler temperatures. Are you kind of having like...
No, I'm enjoying
you
this.
You are? Really? Because
Yeah.
you like summer, and this is
I
kind
like
of a reminder.
I like the season.
Yeah. No,
I'll take little humidity, Bob, but
that's true.
don't know how long I'll be able to have that benefit.
Yeah, you know, I think too with the cloud cover, good morning, Elisa and Matt. We're looking at warmer mornings but cooler afternoons with the cloud cover and increasing humidity the next few days as we're looking at temperatures low to mid 60s inland. We had 50s yesterday because of the lack of cloud cover, and 69 in Ocean City right now, 70 Indian River Inlet, and the winds are calm, just a light breeze around Ocean City. So anglers heading out this morning, pretty flat seas, and they'll be dealing with cloud cover. We have that. It's moving out into the ocean as well. Nothing in the way of rain, but bring your rain gear just in case. It is raining back through Virginia, West Virginia, but with high pressure in place, I think it'll dry out before it gets here. So Futurecast has us mostly cloudy really much of the day. Temperature slowly rising through the 70s. By the noon hour, 78 Seaford, 78 Millsboro, 75 in Bethany Beach, and 75 in Fenwick Island too. I think you're in the mid to upper 70s here really this afternoon with the cloud cover. Not the best beach day. Inland areas into the low 80s. Then by 5 p.m., most of us in the 70s with that cloud cover. And once again, today is day 2 of the White Marlin Open. And it's not clear right now. That should be a cloudy icon, but we're looking at upper 60s. The good news is the winds are light. They shift to the east and northeast, and we're looking at cloudy skies really all day with temperatures into the upper 70s. Waves about 2 to 4 feet, but we'll be seeing building seas in the days to come with increasing wind. More on that coming up in my full forecast a little bit later on.
We are taking a look at the map of Delaware House District 20. That area is where a special election is taking place today. It covers Milton, parts of Lewis, Harbison, and Georgetown. It's home to approximately 23,000 registered voters. That is our top story this half hour. 2 women are running for that seat.
Republican Nikki Miller, longtime educator and former Cape Henlopen High School principal.
And Democrat Alonna Berry founded the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence. That's a free public charter school in Georgetown.
Berry also worked on policy and budget issues under former Delaware Governor John Carney. And if you live in District 20, there are a couple of things you need to know before heading to the polls. According to the Delaware Department of Elections, the polls are open at 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. There are 8 different polling places in the district. According to the department, voters must be 18 years or older and bring ID with them to vote. The absentee ballot deadline, that's 8 p.m., and we're told by the Delaware Department of Elections to expect results sometime around 9:30 tonight.
And here's how we got to the point of needing a special election. After months of getting little information from Democratic leaders in the state over Stell Parker Selby's absence at Legislative Hall, Parker Selby resigned from her District 20 seat in June, citing health issues. In 2024, she won re-election to a second term, but failed to show up in Dover when the General Assembly convened in January.
Let's go live now to Ocean City. We have day 2 of the world's largest billfish competition that's getting underway. We are talking about the 52nd annual White Marlin Open, and more than half of the boats decided not to compete on Monday. Anglers are expecting the ocean conditions to worsen throughout the week. In fact, some of them have already ruled out fishing on Thursday and Friday. There are 3 days they can fish, and because of the expected conditions, organizers have extended fishing days to Saturday and Sunday.
In Lewis, a new fire chief has officially been named following Monday night's election. Robert Stevens, who was serving as interim fire chief, will now officially assume that role. Stevens has been a member of the department for 18 years and has held multiple positions within the company, including assistant fire chief. Stevens also works for the Wilmington Fire Department as a firefighter on Squad 4. And for full disclosure, Chief Robert Stevens is the husband of CoastTV's assistant news director and anchor Madeline Overturf.
Delawareans making a difference in their communities now have a chance for recognition by the state's highest office. Governor Matt Meyer has officially opened nominations for the Governor's Awards. According to his office, these are a series of honors designed to celebrate individuals whose service, leadership, or contributions have improved the first state, and nominations are accepted year-round through an online form.
Many Democratic lawmakers in Texas are still out of the state after leaving over the weekend to stop Republicans from moving forward with the plan backed by President Donald Trump to change the state's congressional map.
Now, Reed Binion shows us how the political battle in Texas has big repercussions in Washington, where House Republicans enter a challenging midterm in 2026 with a very thin majority.
Don't mess with Texas. Democratic officials and lawmakers across the nation warning that Republicans' effort to aggressively redraw congressional districts in Texas will be met by comparable changes in blue states. Don't mess with democracy. You can gerrymander the hell out of that map. Guess what? 2 can play that game. That's right. Other states will do exactly the same thing and neutralize what you're trying to do in Texas. The redistricting effort could deliver Republicans 5 more seats in the U.S. Congress ahead of the midterm elections, but Democrats are threatening to fight back in kind.
We're going to fight fire with fire, and we're going to do everything we can right now to stand up against this unconstitutional power grab.
Some Democratic governors are weighing options to retaliate with their own mid-decade redistricting efforts.
I'm exploring with our leaders every option to redraw our state congressional lines as soon as possible.
Democratic New York Governor Kathy Hochul promising to fight.
This is a war. The gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
In California, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom said if Texas Republicans move forward with redistricting, he would aim to put a new congressional map before California voters in a November special election. For their part, some Republicans argue the Texas redistricting effort is a response to Democratic partisan gerrymandering.
Quite frankly, California is more gerrymandered than the maps that we're talking about today in Texas. All the other Democrat states are doing it. The state of Texas should as well.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
A senior Trump administration official says that Attorney General Pam Bondi is calling for a grand jury to investigate how Obama-era officials handled Russian interference in the 2016 election. This move comes after National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard claimed that top Obama administration officials carried out a, quote, treasonous conspiracy, end quote, against then-candidate Donald Trump. Past probes, including 2 conducted by Republicans, found no such crimes. And we still have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, rip current concern. We'll tell you what first responders say you can do to avoid injury as the risk increases across Delmarva.
Also, White Marlin Open recap. We take a look at the leaderboards heading into day 2 of the world's largest billfish tournament.
And Delaware denies a massive pay package. We'll tell you how much money is now approved for Elon Musk after a previous refusal from Delaware judges. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
6:40 on our Tuesday morning. Lots of clouds, a few breaks in Laurel right now, 62. So not as cool as yesterday morning. We had 50s with the clear skies, but low to mid 60s inland and 60s to low 70s at the beaches right now. Winds are calm, so flat seas for the anglers heading out for day 2 of the White Marlin Open. Lots of clouds. We're going to be seeing that today. There is some rain back to our west, but I think it's pretty much going to dry up as it tries to get here with high pressure in place. So all in all, a good looking day for golf or any outdoor activity and fishing and catching million-dollar fish. There's a good putt, mostly cloudy and warm, 82. I really do want to go fishing now. Here's our umbrella giveaway winner today. It's Jerry Ziegel from Berlin, Maryland. Congratulations to Jerry on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Tesla's board has awarded CEO Elon Musk a pay package worth $29 billion. Musk is not paid a cash salary as head of the electric vehicle maker. Instead, Tesla allows him to purchase company shares for a fraction of their market price, making him the largest individual shareholder, owning about 13% of the company. It's important to note that just a few months ago, a Delaware court rejected for a second time Musk's 2018 Performance Award.
Happening today, police agencies are preparing to connect with the communities they serve. National Night Out happening all across Delmarva. And these events are set to include food, games, and fun. And here are a few of the locations taking place. George H.P. Smith Park in Lewis. That one goes from 5 to 8 p.m. Richard Allen School in Georgetown, 6 to 8. Salisbury City Park, 5 to 8. And at Northside Park in Ocean City, starting at 5:30. Milton will host its event Wednesday at Memorial Park, and that is at 5 p.m.
As the summer season continues, Lewis is working to keep roads and public spaces in good shape. City maintenance will be performing curb painting, road striping, and general upkeep across Lewis, including on streets, alleys, and public parking areas. City says work is being done on Wednesdays through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. as long as weather cooperates. Officials say the early schedule not only minimizes traffic interruptions, but also helps protect workers from the heat.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. The annual White Marlin Open started yesterday in Ocean City, and it's time to see who's on top of the leaderboards after day 1. Sponsored by Rudy Marine. Let's begin with Blue Marlin, where the Barbara B boat and angler Drew Osmeyer landed a 930-pound fish. That's not going to get topped this week. Congrats to him. He's earned himself an estimated prize that comes in at $4.5 million. Let's go to tuna, where a C- student got straight A's yesterday. Keely McGarity earned himself an estimated $700,000. And don't worry, there's actually another one here. Shout out to Bow Down and John Grace. He earned himself over $500,000 for a fish that weighed the exact same. Finally, let's shift gears to dolphin fish, aka Mahi Mahi. Barbara B back again, but this time it was angler Andrew Schreiber who casted the line, earned himself an estimated $108,000 for catching a 32.5-pound dolphin fish. Make sure to stay locked to DSN throughout the week for updates as the White Marlin Open rolls on through Sunday. Now let's thank our sponsor, Rudy Marine.
White Marlin Open leaderboard coverage is sponsored by RudyMarine.com, where family boating begins.
Coming up tonight on DSN at 7, we have live Shorebirds baseball. They take on the Fayetteville Woodpeckers and then catch the final score at 10:30.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at CoastTV.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Live look into Lewis, seeing the mirror image of the buildings in the canal because it's glass. It's calm out there, and we're going to see more clouds as we go through the next few days as temperatures are a little cooler than normal and a little bit higher in the way of humidity and not much in the way of rain. I'll have your full forecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel on another cool morning. Bob, we're seeing beautiful sunrise come up there, but it's going to be cloudy this morning, so not the brightest of sun, which that's all right if you're at the beach. Sometimes you don't need all that sun.
No, I know I would probably welcome the clouds at the beach. At least it keeps the sand a little cooler. And I was wondering too, maybe the fish are biting a little better with the cloud cover out to sea for the anglers today. Let's hope so. It was biting pretty good for that one person that caught that $1 million fish. Early week, we're looking at cloudy skies, more clouds than sun. It will be warm with an uptick in humidity. And then later in the week, the humidity returns, more clouds, warm, and a bit humid as well. Not seeing a lot of rain the next few days. Temperatures out the door, not as chilly as yesterday morning where we're in the 50s. It's 61 in Gumboro and Dagsboro, now 63 in Millsboro. Ocean City is 68 as we're into day 2 of the White Marlin Open. And we're hoping that's 67 degrees. Winds are calm, a little bit of a breeze in Ocean City, but mainly glass as you're going out in the ocean and waves around 1 to 3 feet. We're looking at clouds building in, mostly cloudy all across the region, even out to sea for the anglers too. Not a bad idea to have the rain gear just in case you get some sprinkles. We are seeing some steadier rain back through West Virginia and Virginia, but we have high pressure in place. There's another high to the north, and that will keep the dry air in place. So it's going to be tough for rain to get through that dry air, but it is raining pretty hard in the upstate of South Carolina, and along a stationary front, we'll have to watch this area across the southeast coast for possible tropical development as we go through time. Right now, next 48 hours, not expecting development, but in the next 7 days, there's about a 1 in 3 chance that this could develop into a tropical entity and then track up the coast. As of now, probably missing us to the south and east. So futurecast this morning, lots of clouds warming through the 70s by this afternoon, around 80 in Berlin, 80 in Millsboro, 79 Delmar, with mid-70s at the beaches. Not the best beach day with the cloud cover, but if you like cooler sand, not too bad. Here is this evening, mostly cloudy skies and temperatures falling back into the 60s. Maybe not as cool tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and then another day where it's mostly cloudy, lots of clouds, maybe a stray shower, easterly wind picking up with mid to upper 70s at the beaches and lower 80s inland. And the winds are pretty light today through tonight, but then Wednesday they start to pick up, starting to see gusty conditions, and then especially Thursday, those winds gusting 25 miles per hour out in the ocean. They're probably gusting over 30, 35, and those swells building as a result. We're still dealing with wildfire smoke in the upper layers of the atmosphere the next couple of days. Not as obvious because we're looking at cloud cover, but stay inside just to err on the side of caution if you have health problems, as it is muggy to humid the next few days and right into the weekend. And we're tracking this system to the south, and once again, it could become a tropical system with wind and rain near Norfolk, Virginia. But right now, we think, as of now, it looks like it's tracking out to sea. So it looks like we have a dry and breezy weekend, but we'll continue to watch it for sure. 76 in Rehoboth today, 81 in Millsboro with the clouds and a northeast breeze, 81 in Cambridge, and around 82 in Salisbury, 80 in Crisfield. Paul, they have a 7-day forecast, lower 80s through Thursday, more clouds than sun, upper 70s Friday, and right now, keeping it dry for the weekend, 80 Saturday and more clouds Sunday, 84, with rain returning on Monday.
Thank you, Bob. Strong rip currents continue to rage up and down Delmarva's coast. The National Weather Service says there's a moderate risk of life-threatening currents for Sussex County, but a high risk for Worcester County down to Accomack County. And this has certainly kept beach patrols busy. Captain Jeff Giles with the Rehoboth Beach Patrol says if you're going to go in the water, be near a lifeguard and know your limitations.
You can be a really good swimmer, but these rip currents are no joke. They can take a life. And they can pull you out and you'll be well over your head, and if there's any panic in the situation, you can be in trouble.
Giles says the Beach Patrol is also advising people to only go waist down, and if you do get caught in a current, swim parallel to the shoreline and try to get a lifeguard's attention. And the time is now 6:51, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day loves to feel the wind on his face. Let's check out Oscar, everybody. What a great looking picture.
so
Oscar
happy.
loves outdoor walks in his family. He does look happy there. And Oscar was submitted to us by Jennifer in Frankfurt.
I'm sure Oscar enjoyed the cooler weather this weekend, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special.
Scan the QR code at the top of your screen to submit your friends to Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:54 and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Progress is underway on what's expected to become the world's largest artificial reef. You may remember the ship visited our coast earlier this year. In Mobile, Alabama, crews have removed the massive 65-foot forward funnel from the SS United States. It's part of preparations to transform the 990-foot ship into an artificial reef to be deployed off the Gulf Coast. The SS United States will be sunk about 20 nautical miles off the coast at a depth of 180 feet. The forward funnel will be preserved for a future land-based museum.
Delaware District 20 House seat special election today, and there are several things you need to know before heading to the polls if you live in that district. According to the Delaware Department of Elections, voters must be 18 years or older and bring ID with them to vote. Officials say if you don't have ID but are at the correct polling place, you can still vote. Election workers will confirm your voter registration, and then you have to complete an affidavit of affirmation of voter identity. Absentee ballots must be returned by 8 p.m. And Republican Nikki Miller and Democrat Alonna Berry, they are vying to serve the remainder of the term for this seat.
The White Marlin Open continues as hundreds of boaters plan to head out again into the water today. However, fishermen are expecting the conditions out at sea to worsen throughout the week. In fact, some of them have already ruled out fishing on Thursday and Friday. Because of this, organizers have extended fishing days to Saturday and Sunday.
Rehoboth Beach unveiling a new historical marker, a ceremony taking place today at 9 a.m. at the Beach Patrol. Officials say the marker will highlight the patrol's long history, and Mayor Stan Mills says it is an honor to receive the state historical designation.
It is 6:56. We're going to take a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, but we got a cloudy start to our Tuesday.
Yeah, it is, and I think that means a fish bite better, right? So maybe we'll catch like a $10 million fish today for the White Marlin Open. I don't know, that'd be a big catch for sure. It is day 2. We're looking at lots of clouds today, but all in all, pretty good weather. Light winds and temperatures rising through the 70s for Ocean City. Swells about 2 to 4 feet for the anglers out there today. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, looking at 82 today. Lots of cloud cover into Wednesday, 81. And then the winds pick up on Thursday, so we're going to see bigger swells for sure for the fishing tournament that day, 80 degrees. And then upper 70s Friday, and then this weekend, we'll be watching a system to our south. Right now, it looks like it's missing us. We'll keep an eye on it, but 80 Saturday, 84 Sunday. And then it gets warm and muggy next week with some showers Monday, 87. Then, the 90s are back Tuesday through Thursday with some isolated to scattered storms both Tuesday and Wednesday as the summer heat and humidity returns next week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV Midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Tuesday morning, everybody.